Hey guys, long time no see. So I did not really intend to take a bit of a break in January, but since I only posted 2 videos, I guess it seems like that's what I did. So this video is actually all of my Christmas cooking, and I know that it's past Christmas, but I really wanted to share it with you because it's something that I really enjoy sharing with you every year. So better late than never. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the video, and then at the end we'll catch up on what I've been doing and my plans for this year. Christmas is definitely one of my favorite times of year because I get to cook a ton of delicious food that I pretty much only cook once a year. So I thought I would take you guys along through my Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then we also had a get together with my sister a few days after Christmas. So lots of fun recipe inspiration in this one. You are not going to want to miss this awesome video, so let's get started. All right, today is the day of cooking. We have a lot of cooking to get done today. It's 9 o'clock, so we did sleep in a little bit. It's Christmas Eve, and Adam and I just went to grab coffee at Starbucks, and Milo accompanied us and got his pup cup. The first thing that I'm gonna do is make breakfast, and then I'll show you the plan for the day. There's all my ingredients for our baking. So one thing I always do when I don't know what to cook is I ask people in my family what they want. And so I asked Adam and Connor the night before what they wanted for breakfast on Christmas Eve, and they said bacon and pancakes. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake my bacon in the oven on some parchment paper. That is the easiest, especially when I'm gonna also be making sausage and pancakes on the stovetop. If you guys are interested, I actually have a video that I posted last year that has tons of fun Christmas movie themed food in it. We kind of did that this year, but I didn't really go all out like I did last year. So if you want the full effect, I will leave that video linked down below, but I just basically used some pancake mix to make the pancakes. I like mixing it in this 4-cup measuring cup. It has a spout, so it's super easy to pour into the pan, and then I don't have to get like an extra ladle or measuring cup or anything like that dirty. I do have a griddle pan for the top of my stove, but I hardly ever use it just because it's kind of a pain to wash. It's just kind of large and annoying to use. So normally if I'm just especially making a small batch of pancakes, I'll just use a skillet. I did do a really good job, I think, of using my Christmas dishes this year. I kept them out and used them plenty of times throughout the season, so I was pretty happy with that. Pretty simple breakfast for this morning.
Look what my mom got me for breakfast. Some bacon. It's crispy. It's good. And now she gave me some pancakes and some what's it called? Orange juice. Orange juice. Oh, yummy. Gonna take a sip. No pulp. It's good. Yeah, she gave me my bacon right now. She's the best mom ever. And today we're gonna make a bunch of cupcakes that look like a wreath for tomorrow. And I accidentally just spilled orange juice on myself, but it's fine, let's try it. Oh, I'm gonna take a bite of this bacon. Mmm, that's good. Some pancakes and some syrup. Peace out. How do I turn this off? Push the red button.
All right, so I know in today's video, I'm sharing lots of delicious and objectively probably unhealthy food with you, but I am looking forward to getting back on track with my healthy eating, especially now after the holidays. And so that is why I'm excited that Cole & Broom is sponsoring today's video. I have worked with them before on my channel, and I absolutely love their product. If you're not familiar with Cole & Broom, they are a high fiber dietary supplement, and they use the highest quality ingredients to support your gut and microbiome health. The main component is psyllium husk, which is scientifically proven to help with intestinal problems. It also helps benefit constipation and can help with weight management. Personally, I really love using Cole & Broom because of the taste. It has this super Super delicious, you guys. Strawberry taste to it. It is the best tasting fiber supplement I have ever tried. And I take it every day because I am not always super great about getting my veggies in. And so I know that when I take Colon Brew, I am not only going to have a delicious drink, I am also going to be getting that fiber in as well. So if you too are looking to get your health and your diet back on track after the holidays, you can take advantage of Colon Brew's epic sale and score 6 months supply of Colon Brew at an astonishing 65% discount. And make sure you apply the code Chapin10 for an additional 10% off your entire purchase. You can click the link in the description box below to get your discounted Colon Brew supply before it's gone. Okay, so for lunch on Christmas Eve, I decided to make pigs in a blanket, and I have been really loving making them with puff pastry. I just feel like they're so much better than crescent rolls, so I thawed just one sheet out, and then I'm just rolling it out with a rolling pin just to make it a little bit larger. And then rather than using little smokies, I just used regular hot dogs cut in half, and these would actually make a great meal as well if you wanted to make these for dinner during the week. They're super quick to make, and obviously you can get any type of hot dog that you want if you wanted to use low-fat ones or turkey hot dogs or really whatever you want. And then I just cut the puff pastry into little strips and wrap them around the hot dogs, and then I just brush them with a little bit of beaten egg, and then you can sprinkle everything but the bagel seasoning on them, which is what the original recipe says to do. So I'll link that down below, but I just used some coarse sea salt because that's what my kids like, and they turned out really good. Okay, so Connor wanted to make the cover recipe off of this cookbook. This is Taste of Home cookbook that I got actually at Barnes and Noble. The recipe inside is like for homemade cupcakes and homemade frosting, but we're taking a shortcut. So we got red velvet cake mix, and we're gonna use that for the cupcakes. And then I got some green frosting for, obviously for the frosting part. What were you gonna say?
We only have 20, and on the cover there's 24.
Oh yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, we just had to make a smaller set.
So I don't know about you guys, but whenever I make a boxed cake mix, I literally never can get 24 cupcakes per box. But let me know if you have ever done that before. I feel like it's a unicorn. So here are the pigs in a blanket. This was the rest after we ate them. And then of course we had to watch Elf and many other Christmas movies on Christmas Eve. Connor just decorated the wreath. You done with this one?
Yeah.
Let's put some sprinkles on it.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a fun activity and obviously very easy for kids to do. You can decorate it how you want, and I definitely recommend taking the shortcut of the store-bought cake and icing. That cuts down a ton of time and it's just as good. It is 5 p.m. and I'm totally behind on all the things I need to cook, but that's fine because we were just relaxing today watching Christmas movies. I think we watched like 4 movies. So I'm gonna make the mac and cheese for dinner along with pizza. So this year did not turn out to be as fancy with the Christmas movie food as last year, but I'll link that video down below if you guys want to go back and watch it. It was fun, and maybe I'll go out all again next year, but I'm gonna put the mac and cheese in the oven right now. So this is the stuff that I need to make for tomorrow for Christmas with Adam's family. Adam's making the pulled pork on the smoker right now, and then I have buns and barbecue sauce, so that's done. So I need to make macaroni salad, potato salad, coleslaw, and chocolate pie. Potato salad is definitely better if you make it the day before, or at least I would say like 8 hours before. So I'm just scrubbing some potatoes so I can go ahead and start that this evening. Okay, I'm gonna make some hard-boiled eggs for I need these for the potato salad. I think I also need a couple for the egg salad, or macaroni salad. I need to look at the recipe, so I'm gonna use my little egg cooker. What I do for my potato salad is I just boil the potatoes whole. This is so they don't get waterlogged, and then once they're cooked all the way through, it'll probably take about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll let them cool and then peel the skins off. So I definitely recommend this Dash mini egg cooker. I love it for making hard-boiled eggs. They just peel so easily, even better than in the Instant Pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in an ice bath, and then I just took the potatoes out of the boiling water and put them on a towel and just let them cool until basically they were still warm but cool enough to handle. You can just scrape the skins off with a paring knife, and then I just dice them, put them in a big bowl, and while they're still a little bit warm, you just season them with some all-purpose seasoning and then a couple tablespoons of white vinegar, and just toss them around just so the potatoes themselves can get a little bit of flavor before you put in the dressing. I like to put a little bit of white onion in mine. I really don't put very much. I just mince up a little bit super finely. And then 2 eggs I usually put in there diced. I like to use my Oxo Egg Slicer to dice my eggs. So I can link that down below. It's definitely a super big time saver. I use it all the time to make egg salad as well. And then for the dressing, this is my grandma's potato salad recipe. I use half mayo and half Miracle Whip, and then I add a little bit of half and half, or you can use milk, and then a couple tablespoons of white vinegar. Basically just season it to taste. This particular potato salad recipe is very simple. It's not like a bacon ranch potato salad or a mustard potato salad. It's just like very, very simple, which is how I like it and how she makes it and how I always make it. So I went ahead and tossed that together with the potatoes, and then I do like to add a sliced hard-boiled egg on the top, and then I went ahead and put that in the fridge covered until the next day, and it's the perfect make-ahead side dish for any party that you'll be going to. Okay, so next up I wanted to make some dip for some raw veggies. So I used a recipe that I actually used on Thanksgiving, which I can link down below. It's a very simple homemade sour cream dip that uses sour cream and a couple of tablespoons of mayo, and then some seasonings that you probably have on hand, and then some minced chives. It's really good. Like I said, this is the second time I've made it, and I definitely recommend the recipe. I know that sometimes chives can be hard to find, and so I think you could probably substitute green onion if you had to and you couldn't find them. So I went ahead and mixed those chives in, and then you can just season this to taste with salt and pepper, and then basically just some spices from your spice cabinet. So onion powder, garlic powder, and then some dill weed as well. Just put that in there and stir it around. This obviously tastes very similar to like a regular ranch dip, but I think the chives really make it delicious. I also went ahead and cut up some strawberries. These were to go with dinner along with the veggies and the dip that I made. So I put those in a bowl. And then I obviously took some help from the store and all of the Home Alone movies and got these Stouffer's mac and cheese. So I just cooked that in the oven. And then this was a DiGiorno frozen pizza, a stuffed crust one. Cheese pizza from the Home Alone movie. It was actually really good. So that was our dinner, and then I went ahead and got started on the macaroni salad. I wanted to basically get most of the salads made the night before so that I didn't have to worry about those Christmas morning, since we were eating at noon on Christmas Day. So this macaroni salad is another one that I've made several times, and I can link the recipe down below. It's the best macaroni salad recipe that I've found online. My family tends to kind of like a sweeter macaroni salad, and I know there's lots of different ways to make it, but this one uses sweet pickles and then sweet pickle juice in the dressing along with Dijon mustard and some other things. But if you're looking for a good macaroni salad, I definitely recommend this one. I'm honestly not a huge fan of macaroni salad, and even I like this one. I think it just tastes so much better than the kind you can buy in the store. So I went ahead and made the dressing while the macaroni was boiling, and then it also calls for quite a few kind of chopped veggies and things like that. 1 bell pepper diced up. I did go ahead and double this recipe, which I ended up having way too much, but the last time I made it, I actually didn't have enough because like everyone in the family really liked it and they all wanted to take some home, but I guess this time we just had way too much food. So lesson learned, but it definitely makes a lot if you double the recipe. So I also added some hard-boiled eggs and then also chopped up some sweet pickles. I am honestly not a huge fan of sweet pickles. I will eat them in a macaroni salad or something like this, but by themselves, I'm definitely not a huge fan, but they really taste good in this macaroni salad. And then lastly, just some red onion that I diced up pretty fine, and also some celery. It's obviously up to you how kind of large you want to dice the veggies. I tend to like to dice them pretty fine just because I think it goes better with the macaroni salad. And then what I did was I just soaked the pasta in my salad spinner in cold water until it was completely cool, and I drained it really well. Added it to the veggies, poured the dressing over, and just gave that a stir. And like I said, if you have never made macaroni salad before, this is definitely a good recipe to start with, and you could adjust the dressing to your taste or add, different veggies if you wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the fridge. And then now it is Christmas morning. I have to tell you guys, I didn't really film any part of Christmas morning. You guys know that my kids really don't like to be on camera all that much, but I have to say we had a really just relaxing morning. We took our time opening presents for a couple of hours and just drank coffee and mimosas and had a really quick breakfast, and it was just a really good Christmas morning. So I hope you guys had a really good Christmas morning with your family as well. Okay, so just a couple of things to finish making this morning before our family Christmas at noon. I had to make the chocolate pie and the coleslaw. I actually wanted to wait and make the coleslaw until today so that it didn't get soggy. But for the chocolate pie, I will leave this recipe down below. This is actually a recipe that I got from my mom many years ago. I'm not sure how many people know about this, but if you live in the Midwest, there was a buffet chain called Bishop's that was really popular in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And this is their recipe for chocolate pie. So basically you mix together milk, chocolate and vanilla pudding, and then softened vanilla ice cream. And then you add it to a graham cracker crust and then just top it with Cool Whip. And then I just take like a regular Hershey's bar and a vegetable peeler and shave some chocolate on top of it. It doesn't sound like much and it's super easy, but it's honestly like one of the best chocolate pies that I have ever tried. So definitely an impressive dessert if you want to bring that to your next party. For my coleslaw, I know I've made this for you guys tons of times before, but this is the KFC copycat coleslaw recipe, which is from Top Secret Recipes. I've been making this for years and years and years. It's very simple. The dressing is just mayo, buttermilk, lemon juice, white vinegar, regular milk, diced onion, and then some salt and pepper. And I just whisk that together before I add the cabbage. You can definitely shred your own cabbage, but I obviously typically take some help from the store, and I will use, bagged, pre-shredded coleslaw mix. That is obviously something that is super quick. And then I just put the cabbage on top of the dressing and toss it up, and then just make sure that it's evenly coated and stick it in the fridge for a couple hours until you are ready to eat. So this was our Christmas dinner. I did go back for seconds, especially of like soup and chili, but we had some potato chicken soup and some pulled pork and chili and lots of delicious goodies, and it was really good. So after Christmas Day, we still had one more Christmas to get through with my sister and her family. I would love to know in the comments below how many Christmases you guys do. I feel like it has gotten better over the years, but it's always a journey trying to get through all of the holiday meals, I feel like, but it's super fun. So there were a few things that I did not get done prior to Christmas, and these Rolo Pretzels are one of them. I will link this recipe down below. I actually wouldn't even call it a recipe. Basically, you just lay out pretzels. You can use the round pretzels, or you can use the square like waffle pretzels if you want to. Both of them work. And then you just put a Rolo on top of each one. Make sure you put parchment paper underneath so that they don't stick to the baking sheet. You just put them in the oven, I think 350 degrees for like 3 minutes. And then on top you can either press a pecan, which I really like, but my kids really like the M&Ms, and these are super simple to make and a nice little sweet treat for the holidays. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to put together is this cereal mix, Crispix Mix, I guess you would call it. This is a recipe that I got from a coworker when I was in college and I worked in the hospital as a CNA. This was probably over 20 years ago at this point. But this nurse I worked with used to always bring this awesome cereal mix, and she would put Quaker Oatmeal Squares in it, which I like, but it's a little bit sweet. Adam doesn't really like that in it. So this batch I just made with Crispix or Chex. You can use like rice Chex also. And then I used Cheezits. You can use like bagel chips if you want. You can put bugles in there, and then pretzels as well. And then I like to add just a little bit of nuts. Basically, you need 18 cups of a combination of cereal and pretzels and crackers and nuts, and you can really kind of mix it up how you like it. I actually bought Crispix for this, but then I realized that I had a box of rice Chex open in the pantry from when I made puppy chow a few weeks ago, and so I just used that. And I just use one of my large roasting pans to bake this in the oven. You melt together some butter with seasoned salt and Worcestershire sauce, and basically you just bake this in the oven for an hour at 250, and then you just stir it every 15 minutes to kind of redistribute the butter sauce on there, and it's really good. I highly recommend this Crispix Mix recipe to anyone who asks me for one. I will type the recipe out down below. Super simple. I also added some goldfish in there as well. Okay, so for dinner with my sister and her family, I decided to make a prime rib, and I made this prime rib in the sous vide. So I'll link the sous vide that I have down below. You guys have seen me use it quite a bit. But then I also used the recipe for prime rib out of one of the America's Test Kitchen cookbooks. So I'll link that cookbook down below as well. Basically, I had this prime rib in the sous vide for about 24 hours. You actually sear it on the stovetop before you put it in the bag and put it in the sous vide, and it's really simple. You season it with salt and pepper, and then you actually finish it in the oven after it's done in the sous vide water bath. I'm also going to make a horseradish sauce to go with this. This was just super simple, equal parts jarred horseradish and sour cream, and then I seasoned it with some salt and pepper. I am also going to make some broccoli salad. I make this a lot during the holidays. It's actually a recipe of my aunt's, and basically it is broccoli with grapes, and you can put almonds in there and bacon and red onions, and then it's got kind of this like sweet dressing. I use Miracle Whip because that's what the recipe calls for, and it's one of the only like 2 recipes that I actually use Miracle Whip for. But basically I add Miracle Whip to a bowl along with some sugar and some vinegar, whisk that up, and then that is sort of the dressing for the broccoli salad. So I went ahead and washed my broccoli. You do want to cut it into kind of small pieces, just so they're easier to eat, and the sauce has, or the dressing has, a little bit of a chance to kind of soak into the broccoli and soften it up a little bit. This is best if you make it, I would say, at least 4 hours ahead of time, but you can also make it a day ahead as well. And then you also will need some red grapes. You want these to be crispy red grapes, so I just went ahead and washed those. And then the recipe calls for a whole red onion. I really find that's way too much, but if you really, really like onion, you could probably add a whole onion if you wanted to. But I just sliced a little bit of red onion super thinly and added it to the broccoli. Make sure you season it to taste with salt and pepper. It usually doesn't take a whole lot of seasoning. But then I sliced my grapes and added those in there as well. And then I just happened to have some leftover bacon in the fridge that I could chop up and use in the salad. If you don't want to go through the trouble of cooking bacon, you can always purchase real bacon bits in like the salad toppings aisle. That works just great. And here's that broccoli salad. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in the fridge until it is time to eat. And then for the topping, I just like to toast up some slivered walnuts on the stove and then add those to the top. And then I'll wait until we eat the salad to kind of stir that together. I'm not sure if you can tell in my voice, but my voice is a little bit raspy. We actually went to the Chiefs game this weekend, and I think I was yelling too much because now my voice is not quite there, but it'll come back. Okay, so I'm also making a cheese ball, and this is actually a gift for my sister's boyfriend. So when they came over for Thanksgiving, if you guys haven't watched that video yet, make sure you go back and watch my Thanksgiving video because it is very similar to this one. But he actually texted me afterwards and he was like, "Did you make that cheese ball? It was so good. I thought it was like purchased from the store." And I'm like, "No, I made it." And he's like, "Oh, that was really good." So I gave my sister the recipe and she's like, "Yeah, I'm probably not going to make that for for him. And so I thought it would just be fun to put one of these together as part of his gift. So if you want the full recipe for that, like I said, it'll be in that Thanksgiving video, which I'll link down below. But basically you put all the cheese mixture together in a food processor and then form it into a ball, and then I rolled it in almonds. So Kira, my daughter, is not a huge fan of red meat. She really only eats it under like certain circumstances, and she was definitely not going to eat prime rib. So I made her some chicken and noodles, and then we had those for leftovers as well. But here's what the prime rib looked like when it came out of the sous vide. I let it rest on a rack, and then I went ahead and put it into the oven, and I did a terrible job getting pictures once everyone came. I am famously terrible about that, but my sister did make some potatoes and some green bean casserole, and she brought some shrimp cocktail. The potato recipe she used is from another YouTuber, Cowboy Rollins, so I'll try to find that video and link it down below. But this prime rib was so good. I highly recommend this method if you've never made it before at home. It was super delicious and way simpler than I thought. Okay, so future Jen here again. So I basically at the end of last year really burnt myself out on not just YouTube, but work, and I feel like everything all combined together. You guys know that I travel quite frequently for work. Sometimes it can be as little as 1 week a month, but sometimes it can be up to 3 weeks a month. And those months are really hard to do anything else, including YouTube. And people ask me all the time, am I ever gonna quit my job and just do YouTube? No, I don't plan on doing that. I really enjoy my job, and I've worked super hard for my education, and it's just something that fulfills me in a way that social media doesn't. And so I intend to continue doing that. But shifting into 2024, I'm really starting to re-examine my priorities a little bit, and I'm not quite sure if that looks like posting less on social media or just getting more help in terms of getting help with a lot of the administrative tasks I do, video planning, and then also the editing of my videos. So that's something I'm still exploring as well. The one thing that I do know after I have traveled, so basically last Friday I came back from a work trip, and on that Friday I had been traveling 11 out of the last 12 days, and I was practically delirious to the point that I had gotten sick. Now, whether that's from a virus or just not taking care of myself in a rundown immune system, I'm not sure. But the thing that it has taught me over these last few months is that if you don't take care of yourself, you are very ineffective, and you also can't take care of anyone else. So I don't really have everything all figured out yet, but you guys are gonna come along with me as I figure it all out. You know that last year I lost about 20 pounds just with diet and exercise, and I gained most of that back over the probably the last half of last year, as I shared in a recent video. And I feel like all of that is just due to not really putting myself first. And by putting myself first, I don't mean in a way that is selfish. I just mean that we, as like busy moms and busy women, we have to give time to ourselves too, right? Like we give so much to everyone else, to our kids, to our spouse, to our employers, to our hobbies, to our side hustles, whatever, that sometimes at the end of the day, there's nothing left to give to us. And so I am figuring out ways where I can not just like give myself time to rest and relax, but also things that I can do to make time in my day to exercise and make healthy meals and just things like that. Self-care is not just like bubble baths and massages and you know, drinking a glass of champagne and all that. It's much more than that. So I'm still trying to figure everything out, and I just wanted to kind of also apologize. I know I don't technically like owe anyone an explanation for anything, but you guys have always been there for me, and you know, you all are the ones that watch my videos, and so you know, it's not fair for me to ghost you, I guess, as it would be the proper term for it. So I do apologize for that sincerely. I think that it's one of those things where, do you know, like sometimes when you like fall behind and you get so far behind that you don't even want to check on something, you don't even want to look at it, you just like keep pushing it away until you can't push it away any longer. I mean, I'm a professional procrastinator, so I'm really always good at that. But I think that's basically what I did. But I do have some videos filmed that are working on getting edited, so I am going to have a lot more content this month, not just two videos, so we can definitely look forward to that. And I'm actually home for the next couple of weeks, so that will be fun as well, just so I can get caught up on some things. And yeah, regarding the weight loss, I am still trying to find a pharmacy that has Wegovy in stock. I actually got it prescribed a couple of weeks ago, and so I started back on my, you know, calorie deficit, whatever, like, you know, eating around 1900 calories a day. And I haven't had a ton of time to like call, like basically I'm gonna have to like call around to like all these pharmacies in the area to see if they carry it or see if they have it in stock. I did put in a request with Costco today. It's a Costco that's about 40 minutes away, but I guess I'll drive if I have to. So I know some of you have been on Wegovy before, so if you have any luck, I would love to hear your tips and tricks. I even tried to get it through Amazon Pharmacy and they did not have it in stock either. So anyway, it's just kind of something that's been like kind of hanging over my head, and it's like, if I'm not going to be able to get it in stock anywhere easily, then it's like, do I even want to start taking it and then not be able to get it? You know what I mean? Like, that just seems, I don't know, that just seems silly. So this is rambling all over the place. Future out. Back to the outro. And if you're trying to get back on track after the holidays like I am, make sure you check out Brew. They have the best tasting fiber supplement out there. It is so good. I drink it every single day. So I'll have that discount code down below. And if you want to watch my Thanksgiving cooking video, you can click right here.